What up, everybody? This is Kingdom Key 23 here, and we have another Kingdom Hearts game out. And so you know what that means. It's time to do another video review with Zorial Diamond. Glad for you to join us.
Hello!
Hi, I'm so glad you're here. Because as soon as I finished playing Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memories, I had asked her, like, you want to come on to do another video? And she was very excited because you definitely want to talk about this one.
Oh, yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah, so, after Kingdom Hearts 3 and Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, we needed a little something on a smaller scale, so we got Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memories, a rhythm game that, it's pretty much to be just like the greatest hits of the Kingdom Hearts, music, because it's a rhythm game, and then you're, playing to all of the classic Kingdom Hearts songs. It's, I enjoyed it. What did you think of it?
I think it was the game I didn't know I wanted until I had it.
Yeah.
I was just kind of surprised to see, wait, a Kingdom Hearts rhythm game? And it sounded weird at first, but I just kind of got more and more into the idea. And then once I got the actual game into my hands, the actual story mode didn't take me too long to finish, but by that point, I was hooked. And I've sort of been playing it on and off ever since.
Yeah, I think, in my opinion, that's sort of the best way to enjoy this game, because I think some people are kind of just like, oh, because it's going to be another, like, story-driven game and all that stuff and blah, 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 but you have to kind of approach this game in a different way. It's more like, it's the greatest hits of, like, some of the best music from the Kingdom Hearts series, and that's kind of what it's more geared towards instead, because I know there's a little extra story stuff. We'll get into that in a little bit, but it's more about the experience and, like, playing through these classic songs and sort of like, reliving these memories, because that's always been a big theme in this series, memories,
Uh-huh. And it's just, I already listen to extended versions of the Kingdom Hearts soundtrack all of the time while doing everything. Whether it's working from home during all of this crisis season, whether it's setting the mood music for something creative, sometimes even bringing my own background music when I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons online with my group. It's just, this music was already in the background of my life, so it's just, I was already decent at rhythm games, so this just seemed like the perfect thing, and it is basically like a shot of nostalgia in our hands. I suppose that the game that it most closely reminded me of in the series as far as the balance of gameplay and story was Recoded, because Recoded didn't have a whole ton of new story either, but it had solid enough addicting gameplay that it end up making up for it big time.
Yeah, and I guess with me too, it's like, because I've, just like you, I love listening to the soundtrack all the time, whether I'm doing work or I'm playing, like, if, like, I'll have it on in the background for whatever reason. It's just like, of course, we can't praise the Kingdom Hearts soundtrack enough. It's just phenomenal, and there's just been so many great tunes, and it's just nice, because I played rhythm games like Rock Band and Guitar Hero and stuff like that, and, like, it's fun. I especially like with the little animations that play when you're actually going through the levels, and, like, Sora or whoever you choose, they're on the board, and then they're whacking the enemies stuff. I think that's a nice touch, and just sometimes you'll have party member characters join you. It's really a nice nostalgia trip.
Exactly, and it's a nostalgia trip that you don't have to spend hours upon hours playing. You can enjoy it just as much on your 15-minute work break as you can do on a weekend-long 3-hour binge or something, which is just like, I think it's that level of accessibility that's really underrated, especially now that we have it on the Switch so you can take it anywhere with you. I feel like that was a really smart move for this one, even if they can't necessarily, like, get the entire collection on the Switch.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, I mean, it's nice that we get at least a Kingdom Hearts game on the Switch,
It's been a long time since I played a Kingdom Hearts game on a handheld Nintendo console, and that definitely brought back memories all by itself. Yeah, it's been too long.
Yeah, oh my god, how time flies. But, yeah, but of course it's available on PS4 and Xbox One, but like you said, I think it's definitely nice for the, if you're on the go and stuff like that, and you just want to play like a quick round or something. That's the thing, I kind of made a little bit of a bad mistake because I wanted to get through it so that we'd be able to do this video together. But this is a game that you can't really play all in one sitting, especially because like the campaign surprisingly goes on for a while. But that's the thing, like you'll keep go. I kept going and going, and I'm like, oh my god, it's going on, and I should have been like, no, maybe I should take a break for a little while and come back to this later. I think that's definitely how you can enjoy the game best, is you have to play it in like increments.
Like, just to pop a few songs every day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like a half hour to 45 minutes before bed or something. Or yeah, like I said, on a work break or on your lunch.
And
what difficulty did you play the most on?
I mostly did standard, but I did try some out on hard, and yeah, like some of the songs, like they're fine on hard, but then others are just like, whoa, I gotta really get the rhythm down for that.
Yeah, the thing is, I kind of just sort of graduated up through the difficulty ranks, and now I'm sort of slowly trying to work on clearing all the songs at least once on Proud, and the ones that get you are not necessarily the ones that you expect will get you.
Yeah, I know.
I completed all the missions on World Tours, and the one thing that stuck out as the most pain in the ass one was on the Proud mode for Enter the Darkness, Vanitas' theme. You have to get a chain that's like something like 154, and while I was really good at like the individual sections of the song, it's so chaotic that it was hard to just string everything together. So that was harder to do than actually clearing some of the tougher songs on Proud.
I know, it's crazy. It's like this. It's like you really got to be paying attention and listening to the beats, because this thing will definitely challenge you. And thankfully, you do have like items and stuff that can help you out. But even then, it's like even after using the items, you're still gonna be like struggling.
I have not used a single item yet in my entire run of Melody of Memory so far.
Ah, I see. I think I might have used one once or twice, but that's about it. I don't know, the items they're not like too like, I mean, they're a nice little thing, but you kind of just want to like focus on the music, and that's all. It's like, oh, they're trying to include some RPG elements, but it's just kind of there. It's nothing really special.
Yeah, it's nothing you need to play the game.
Yeah, the thing is too, like, I guess that's only a gripe I kind of had was some of the things they didn't explain well. I thought, like right out of the gate, like sometimes you'd have to like know after, like, oh, we go to the tutorial and then read it out. It's like there were some moments where I was just scratching my head. I'm like, huh? Okay, I had to do it this way, huh?
Or there are some times where your own memory of a song betrays you, and so it's just like you're feeling it in your soul, and apparently, well, there's sometimes where that syncs up really well, and you just end up full chaining a song because you just know it so damn well from having listened to it 300 times. And other times where apparently that song didn't go quite like you remembered, and whoops.
Yeah, I know. That was so weird because obviously we're big KH fans, so we've heard many of the songs plenty of times, so we think we would like, oh, we got this, no problem. But then you're like, wait a minute, something's not matching up here. Maybe we don't know it as well as we thought.
Or you realize, oh, this section is supposed to represent the backbeat of the song. Oh! And it only hits you after going through like a couple of times.
Yeah.
But you have to pay attention to every single part of the song, not just the main melody.
Yeah. So, like, I was surprised by the amount of, like, good work they did in it. Because, like, especially when you really get into, like, the rhythm and then you're doing all the controls with the characters, like, it really does get addicting, as I can see what you mean by that. But again, like I said, this is definitely a game. Don't, like, go through it all at once. Really take your time with this one. That's how I think you can get the most enjoyment out of it. It's like, I made the mistake because I'm an idiot. Oops. But yeah, I will say this though, because this is one I think a gripe I do have is towards the end, where I think because they change up the music thing, where instead of, like, you know, all the characters on the screen, you're flying, and then when you're doing the spoiler alert, you're fighting Xehanort at the end, which we'll get more into the story like in a sec. But There was just so much going on the screen because they're showing like the battles that it was kind of hard to concentrate on both the music and seeing what was going on at the screen. Like even the little line was like transparent, so I couldn't see what I was doing. It was kind of like
I had the same issue, and it doesn't help that that was actually like legitimately the hardest song on the game, even if you just do the field battle version of it. Like, I haven't attempted it myself yet because I've seen videos of it and it looks positively insane.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only one who thought that, because even I'm just kind of like, that's kind of bad. Because I get it, it's the final battle, and like, oh, they're trying to make the spectacle of it, but still, it kind of just like ruins your concentration.
Yeah, it's just like, where the frick is the line I'm supposed to hit?
I know, I got so mad at that. I'm like, I can't see the damn line!
Yeah, I had to drop the difficulty level down for that one because that was legitimately difficult.
Yeah, that was I will say, I think when in the World Tour, I think towards the end, that's where I thought it was like the weakest for me, just because of the way it was set up. But like everything before that is still really good, and just there was a lot of charm and character in it, and there's a lot of fun songs that like, oh, I can reminisce on all that stuff.
Yeah, and even some tracks that I had forgotten about or slept on for years.
So if you haven't played the game yet, we're going to get into the spoiler area here. So if you haven't played it, go ahead and check it out. But yeah, there's a little bit of story towards the end. I mean, what did you think of it overall? I feel it's more like just kind of setting up the next saga in the story. It wasn't anything like crazy, but like I guess there's some interesting bits there. What do you think?
It's definitely more putting the groundwork in place for what's to come. Just sort of like wrapping everything up for the past saga with a bow, and then sort of like teasing out the threads that are going to matter for the next time. And I think it's a pretty solid base to be working off of. Like I said, I definitely got the sort of recoded sort of vibes from it, except in this case it's stuff that's actually more new, whereas with like recoded it was kind of a lot of stuff we already knew, more or less.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, like, I know people are always like, oh, the series is like, oh, it's so crazy, it doesn't make sense, blah blah blah, but the thing with the Kingdom Hearts games is that's because they try all these crazy ideas, because now we're talking about going into a fictional world, which is, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, it's Quadratum,
I think.
Quadratum, yeah, and it's like a fictional world, and it's like, how are they coming up with this stuff? It's so crazy, you kind of just want to just see where it goes, because it's like really nothing you've ever seen before, and I think that's part of the charm of the story of Kingdom Hearts, because it just gets so big and just so, like, absurd. You're kind of like, okay, I want to see what happens next.
Yeah, there is a little bit of an element of rubbernecking in there. I feel like it's kind of like eating a good taco. It kind of falls apart a bit in the process while you're consuming it, but that doesn't mean it isn't a damn fine taco.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think is part of the charm, because people just get so mad about it. It's just like, just stop and like relax. This is like the stuff you see in this game, these plot elements, they're like nothing you've ever seen before, and it's so absurd, and it's just like, just embrace it, man. Don't just be like frustrated by it, because I think it's kind of aware that it's going off the walls, and it's just kind of relishing in it.
And it's, of course, all the more fun to then watch the fan base pick it up and run with it.
But yeah, it's like Kairi uncovers this memory from her past, and she faces, it's like a dream version of Xehanort, would you say?
Her memory, or I almost saw one interpretation kind of compared to 0.2 a bit, and where basically both Aqua and Kairi kind of just had to face something that was the embodiment of their anxieties and fears.
Yeah, that's kind of a good way to put it, though. I do feel bad because she does put up a good effort, but of course, like Sora, like a representation of Sora has to come in and save her. So I'm just like, oh, come on.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little bit disappointed, but then it's just like, I still need more training, and it's just like, if this is what she can manage without having run like through the full gamut of training with like a proper master, then imagine how badass she will get once she has a chance to train under my Gal Master Aqua. I loved that bit.
Yeah, that is exciting. I do hope they go more into that, because I'd like to see them sort of, like, bond and have a relationship together. And, of course, Christopher Lloyd, I believe it was Christopher Lloyd again, who came back to do Master Xehanort, which I still think he does a really good Xehanort.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, that definitely does work there. Someday I will get that on Proud. Someday!
Yeah.
I may break my fingers doing it, but I'll get it someday.
There might be a snap switch, but hey, it was worth it. I don't know if I'd go that far. I don't know if I'd go that far, but...
Yeah, I mean... Let's just say that I have played Soulsborne games before. I have a lot of patience.
Yeah, you have told me that before, so major props to you for that with those Souls games. Because I tried the Demon Souls remake, and I was just like, I don't know about it. Like, how did she do it?
I'll get a PS5 eventually, but anyways, back to Melody of Memory.
Yeah, but like we were saying, like, he gives it, like, this creepiness to, like, the performance as Master Xehanort.
Yeah, it's just, like, that just kind of, like, really sinister vibe. You just kind of feel like Xehanort's there in the room with you, and you just want to cringe back a bit, even though it's just you holding your Switch.
Yeah, I know. I'm 33-year-old, and I still feel like I need an adult.
Although I definitely do appreciate Kairi kind of getting her moment to go all feral.
Yeah, I'm just... Here's the thing, and I'm not trying to be, like, morbid or anything. It's because, like, every time someone takes up the mantle of Xehanort, it's like, a few months later they pass away, so I'm just like, just put Christopher Lloyd in a bubble or something.
Yeah.
Because we've, like, as soon as they've taken on the role of Xehanort, it's like, poof, they're gone. It's just like, these are great actors. I don't know if it's like a curse or something with this role. Jeez.
Well, he'll be less relevant in the series going forward, so here's hoping that'll keep him alive.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so after, like, Kairi finds that important memory, and then actually, it was kind of nice the fairy godmother actually shows up and she helps them out, Riku and Kairi.
Mm-hmm. Remember those plot threads that you thought didn't matter all the way back from 2002? Guess what? We're bringing them back now!
Yep!
It seems to just be Nomura's thing lately.
Yeah, I know, seriously.
You think that this is all just some random bullshit? Watch this!
Yeah, they might just surprise you. Yeah, they go to the final world and they find, I guess, that you know, that girl there who's a little sparkle, and then Riku uses his power of awakening to travel to Quandratum. I'm still having trouble pronouncing that. That's pretty much where it ends. He goes to the next. He goes to that world, and I don't know what the next game will be. I don't know if it will be an actual number sequel. I somehow doubt that.
Honestly, from the setup I'm seeing, my first guess would be something like a spiritual successor to Dream Drop Distance.
Yeah, maybe even include a little bit more of that Final Fantasy Versus 13 that was originally in the works, you know?
Mm-hmm. Although while Kingdom Hearts itself is apparently gonna take a break for about a year, there is that stuff that was coming out with the Neo, The World Ends With You, and we know that the original game for The World Ends With You was tied in Dream Drop Distance, so I don't know. Get your tinfoil conspiracy hats on, everybody.
Yep, get them ready, because it's I'm sure they're gonna get hot. Yeah, I know, I heard about that with The World Ends With You stuff. I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. I only played a bit of the first one, and, well, I mean, it was the only one at the time, what am I saying? But it's, the combat's weird. I played it, and I'm just like, I don't know if this is for me. I'm not saying it's bad, it's unique, but I'm not sure if it's kind of my thing. But, you know, it has a cool art style.
Can't dispute that. So what would you say your overall score for Melody of Memory would be?
I don't usually do scores, because I feel like, I don't know, it's, like, hard for me to sort of, like, determine them based on a number of factors. I will just say that I think the thing is, I think people need to, again, go into it with more of an open mind and more of like a relaxed feeling. This isn't anything sort of like big or major. It's more like a celebration of the series and just kind of like taking that nostalgia trip back to, you know, when the game came out, and you're visiting all these cool worlds based on Disney properties. You're hearing these incredible soundtracks, which have just added so much to this series. That's kind of the mindset you have to go into it, and I think you'll enjoy it that way. And for that, yeah, I do enjoy it. And again, it's one of those, I feel like you enjoy it the best when you play in increments, not just all at once, you know? Yeah, what did you think of it overall?
I would definitely say it's worth a play. It definitely seems a bit more unusual compared with the other things in the series, but it's just, if you want a condensed bit of Kingdom Hearts nostalgia, this is the place to go for it.
Yeah, something fun, nothing too complicated. And I definitely think the best way to enjoy it is on the Switch, definitely to pick it up and play it. But yeah, I think that's going to be about it on Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. Like you said, they're taking a year break and all that stuff, but there's still stuff like, I know Kingdom Hearts Dark Road is still out. Like, I haven't actually played that, but are they still, like, in the middle of the storyline for that game?
Oh yes, where I think the last chapter they released was Chapter 3.
Okay, yeah, so if you're, like, interested in stuff like the Dark Road stuff, Union Cross, that's still out and about, and they're still doing more stories on that, but nothing major at the moment. But you can bet, like, as soon as we hear something new Kingdom Hearts related, you know the two of us will be all over that.
2020 may have been a crap year for the most part, but it's been a great year for Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, of course. We'll always have the great music just to listen to and always reminisce about. Because that's one of the big things about Kingdom Hearts, is great music.
And one thing that I feel like really helped the factor is that for the older worlds, they actually used some of the older MIDI versions, which, yeah, they're not as flashy as some of the stuff that's appeared in, like, the HD remixes, but it's just like, you just shot me back into 2005 hearing that track again.
Yeah, that's right, because they didn't do the 1.5 remix versions. They were the originals, so I thought that was a nice touch.
And it's not like the remix, it's not like either is like, I mean, one hand you have objectively better sound quality, but there's just a certain charm with them.
Oh, of course.
And I think a large part of that had to do with sort of making sure, working around the technical limitations of the Switch to get a consistent experience across the consoles.
But yeah, that is going to be it then. So, Zorial Diamond, thank you again for joining me. It's really always a pleasure to have you on, and we definitely want to talk about more games together in the future, so definitely look out for that. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big old thumbs up. I really appreciate it, and if you want to see more from me, click on the subscribe button at the end of this video. Well, we will see you guys next time for more Kingdom Hearts goodness. Take care, bye!
Bye!